Good morning, or afternoon, rather.
Good afternoon.
So the people that weren't placed on the calendar, are they gonna be reset?
I mean, I guess. Do we have a judge?
I'm not sure. I emailed Miss Grace.
Yeah, we did too, because it's 4 people missing off the calendar. So we need to know what the
Right, so we were told that Souders, Jameson Souders and Jameson Towns, spelled differently, first names, were going to go to the felony court.
They knew nothing about that court. They didn't get any email saying that.
Who's they?
Hello,
It's clerks for felony.
Ms. Grace is speaking. On the pull sheet, Sounders is not on our pull sheet. I'm the litigation manager. I don't prepare the calendar, but I have the list. Sounders was not on our list, and Towns,
Yep.
we were told, went up. And they didn't get anything on Xavier finally. This is the only information I can pass on to you guys.
Okay.
And what about Miss Johnson? Miss Johnson and Saddle, that was on an attachment form. They came up with the pull sheet this morning. They wasn't on the actual pull sheet, but there was a write-in. It was 2 people, Saunders and Johnson.
So
Yeah,
I just need to know, are they gonna be
So
reset?
are they gonna be reset? If they're gonna be reset, we can take these people back.
Yeah, they
it's
gonna
not-
have to be.
Okay.
Well, so hold on a second. Wait, before you say they're going to have to be reset, I would like
That's
to
what I'm
know
about
what
to say.
the
Let me
Yeah.
get on the line. Give me a second. Because I don't.
because I've
prepare the
spoken to
calendar.
them, unless there's a reason they're getting reset. I would like to know that reason before they're reset. This is a holiday weekend. I've spoken to both Towns and Saunders. If it's getting transferred to Superior Court, that's one issue. These are 2 people that I did not believe would get transferred to Superior Court. There are 2 others that I thought might have that happen to you, but not these 2. So
Okay, Ms.
before we
James,
do
let me get
anything,
Mr.
I'd like to have the
Jordan on
judge
the
address
line.
it and know a reason.
Let me get Mr. Jordan on the line once again.
Do we have a
Towns
judge?
is a recidivist battery family violence. He has a conviction from 2018 here in Fulton County. That's why he was transferred as a felony transfer.
Which one?
Town.
What's the case number?
Ooh, let me see. You talking about the DA case number, or? Let me see
You're
if they
talking
keep-
about the one that he took a plea to on March of this year, 19 SC 171616.
Let me see if that is the one. I believe it was from 2018, but I'll confirm now.
And also, the judge may have a different link. We were given a link that was not the correct link. So if the judge is not on, can someone check in with her?
She's logging on.
Okay, cool.
She sent me this link, so she should be logging on.
So the conviction, I based the transfer on 17 SC 149223.
Because I actually, that's Towns that you're talking about?
Correct.
So I actually represented him in Glanville when I was in Superior Court for that period of time. And let me see here.
Yeah, the plea was taken August of 2017.
Do you say 17 SC 149223?
17 SC 149223, yes.
Okay.
So did anyone ever figure out what's going to happen with Johnson and Saunders?
And what about Souders? Do we know the story with that?
I'm not sure. I'm asking the solicitors because they're the ones that's supposed to be filing the accusations. But both of those names were on the sheet. Ms. Tucker and Ms. King.
He says
What are the
Saunders.
names?
Yeah.
There's a Saunders whose booking number is 2213103, and a Johnson who is 2213110 that was on the full sheet. And they were asking about those cases. Do y'all plan on filing accusations for those two cases? Or they were on the full sheet.
Those people were not on the pull sheet we were given.
There's 2 pages to the pull sheet. I can forward it to you. I'm not sure what happened. There's 2 pages to the pull sheet. I will forward you the one that came in the email from the jail.
Thank
Right, and
you.
I spoke to Souders, and so he should be addressed today.
Michael, the judge said she's trying to get in. You see her?
I don't see her. I was trying to send her the correct Zoom link.
She probably has
sent
the
her
wrong Zoom
correct
link.
because she sent me the link, and I'm in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, dude.
Not sure where she's
Try it
at.
again. You about to try it again?
Okay, thanks. And let me call Adriana back too because she got the wrong Zoom link too. The interpreter.
Michael, she said you sure you don't see her?
I don't see. Only got the TVs in the waiting room.
Okay. Yeah, he said he don't see. Michael, do you see any device?
No, just the 3 TVs that I put in the waiting room. I'll clear them. Oh, there she is. I see her now.
Oh, he said he see you now. All right.
That did take some doing, but good afternoon, everyone. Are you able to Good afternoon, Yana.
All right, good to see everyone finally. This is the state expedited accusations calendar. This calendar is for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney here today. This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. That means that any member of the public can log on and watch. Also, those who receive a surety or cash bond today will be reset to the state all-purpose calendar on September the 15th of 2022. And those who receive a signature bond will be reset for the notice. I have received some information that there are some people at the jail who do not appear on today's calendar. Have we resolved that? In
We
courtroom
haven't,
two?
Judge.
Okay. I'm not sure how we are going to resolve that. Is there?
Good morning,
a
Your
reason-
Honor, or
Good-
good
good
afternoon.
morning.
My name's Anna. I'm the supervisor here in the solicitor's office.
Yes.
I just took down the 2 booking numbers of, I believe, the individuals that we weren't aware of earlier, and I can prepare that now as Zoom is going on.
Okay. So we're adding on 2 people.
Well, Your Honor, there's a third person. The jail informed me that there's someone by the name of Xavier Freshly I spoke with. He's been in custody since the 1st, and he has not been before a judge. And apparently he has 2 misdemeanor charges.
My understanding was that he was already set on for a felony first appearance. We talked to someone about him just a few hours ago.
Okay.
All right, so I have the public defender's office had the opportunity to speak with everyone who's going to be added on.
I've spoken
No,
to Mr.
no,
Souders. Judge, good afternoon. Rachel Jenks from the PD's office. How you doing?
I'm well, Ms. Jenks. So you said you have not?
I have. I spoke to Mr. Souders, who's one that apparently, I think the state didn't see the second page of the booking list.
All right, Mr. Howard, will you have the history for those extra people?
Yes.
I had to
Excuse me,
ask. Yes,
excuse me,
yes.
Ms. Johnson, who's supposed to be adding on, she has not spoken with anyone because she's a conflict.
Okay. Happy Saturday. All right, there's no
Happy-
conflict. There's no conflict attorney today, is there?
That I'm not sure of, Judge. And then
I
just
was-
to add
I
one
don't
more
see one.
layer, Mr. Rosario needs a Spanish interpreter, so I haven't had an opportunity to speak with him yet.
Oh,
No, there
no.
is no conflict, Judge.
Is there a Spanish interpreter?
I got emailed that Miss Adriana Chancey was supposed to be joining us.
Yes. She's trying to get on now, Judge.
Oh, okay, so that's one thing that did work out today. So as soon as she comes on, Ms. James will put you into a, is he in courtroom 2 or is he in courtroom 3?
He's in courtroom 2.
Can he be taking the 3 so that she can do a breakout and we can keep moving? Is that possible?
Yes, when we get started, Judge, it's only 2 of us working this calendar, so if we can do position number 3, and then I can put them in the holding cell and I'll go get them, please. Thank you.
Okay, position 3. All right. I was just trying to resolve some of the logistics that might slow us more later once we got started. Despite my best efforts, that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. All right, I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Your case is 22 CR 005936B, in which you're charged with disorderly conduct with the offense date of November the 20th. Do you understand your rights, Ms. Guffey?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now,
7 total. Last arrest was February of 2020. Driving without a valid license. Another February 2020 FTA for theft by taking. 2 counts of simple battery. 2 counts theft by taking, giving false name, obstruction. That was February 2020 arrest as well. Got a 2017 theft by taking, dead docket. Trespass. The trespass was transferred to the DA's office, it says. And a 2011 simple assault, 2012 simple battery. That's it.
thank you. Whose case is this for the state? Is it yours, Ms. Tucker?
Good morning, Judge. Yes, I'll be handling positions 1 through 5 on the published calendar. In this case, the state would be recommending a $5,000 good bond with conditions to have no further contact with the victim. In this case, the victim went to the Tropical Smoothie Cafe where the defendant was working as an assistant manager. She ordered a jerk chicken wrap, but without chicken. And when it came out wrong, the assistant manager became completely unreasonably rude, yelling, throwing items from behind the counter, throwing a pan of chicken, throwing a bucket of water, throwing a stool. Eventually, we did have contact with this victim. There was a civil suit against Tropical Smoothie Cafe that has since resolved, but the state does intend on having Ms. Guppy answer for the criminal aspects of her actions as well. We are asking for that $5,000 good bond based on, the severity of these facts, how unreasonable this response was, as well as you did hear her history. She has that 2011 simple assault, a 2012 simple battery. She's got a pending battery with our office. That's case 20 CR 001486B. And I noted 2 failure to appears as recent as one this year, 2022, and one in 2020. So based on, her propensity to reoffend in these violent manners, as well as fail to appear, we're asking for that $5,000 good bond with conditions, no further contact with the victim.
And I'm sorry, the victim's name?
Yes, Judge, one moment. Yes, I apologize for that. Her name is Chanel, Chanell, Laurent, Laurent.
All right, thank you. And whose case is this? Whose defense? Is it yours, Ms.
Your
Thomas?
Honor, yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, Ms. Thomas, please proceed. It's good to see you. It's been quite some time.
It's been a while. Thank you, Your Honor. Good seeing you. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm going to be asking for a signature bond on Ms. Guffey's behalf. She does adamantly and strongly deny these allegations. This is from an incident date of November of 2021. Ms. Guffey did also express to me that she was the manager at the Tropical Smoothie. She since sought and gained new employment, a managerial position at the Cafe Intermezzo. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Unfortunately, right now, Ms. Guffey is unemployed. She's been unemployed for the past 3 weeks. She is the caregiver of her younger brother who suffers from autism. She also has a one child. She's 28 years of age. She has been a Georgia resident, born and raised here. She's been living here all of her life. She's a resident of Atlanta. Also, Your Honor, she did express to me that right now, given her financial state, she's unsure if she's going to be able to make a high bond. Currently, as we heard from the state, she did get picked up on an FTA, I believe, due to a change of address in which she was unaware that she had a court date. However, she now presently has a $2,000 bond for that FTA, and she is unsure whether or not she's going to be able to make a high bond amount. I am asking for a signature bond on her behalf, given the $2,000 bond. However, she's ineligible for a signature bond. I am asking for a bond amount no more than $1,000 currently, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond, and she is to have no further contact with the alleged victim. In this case, last name Laurent, and she is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
You said 1,500?
Yes. All right, is there anything further from the state of defense?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Do we
All
have the
right.
reset date for the SAP calendar?
Yes, as it will be, all people who receive a surety or a cash bond today will be reset to the September 15th SAP calendar.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
I'm ready for the breakout session with the interpreter and
All
courtroom
right.
number.
Yes. Let's see if we could put
That's fine, Judge.
interpretation and Ms. Jenks into the breakout so she can interview him. And we can go to a position that does not belong to Ms. Jenks. All right, who do we have courtroom 2? I'm sorry.
Position one.
All right. Good afternoon. Are you Navneet Argu, or pronounce your last name for me?
Aguru?
Aguru. Mr. Aguru, your case is 22 CR 005934Y, in which you're charged with DUI and speeding with the offense date of September the 2nd of 2022. Do you understand your rights today? All right, I believe you're nodding yes. Mr. Howard?
First.
All right, thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. The state will be asking for a $2,500 good bond on the DUI less safe and a $1,000 good bond on the speeding. The facts allege that the officer clocked this defendant going 61 miles per hour in a 45 zone at about 2 a.m., right after 2 a.m., so pretty late at night. This defendant did have a strong smell of alcohol. He was in a car with 4 other people, so the officer asked him to get out to determine if the smell was coming from him or other passengers in the car. He did admit to having some IPA beers, which we know is a higher alcohol content than a Bud Light or anything. He did agree to do field sobriety tests. HGN was a 4 out of 6 clues. Walk and turn was a 7 out of 8 clues. One leg stand was a 2 out of 4. This defendant did agree to do the intox and blew a 0.45 BAC, which is less than the standard for a per se. But through the officer's observations, he did determine that this amount was enough to make this driver a less safe driver. Despite this being his first and only arrest, as we know, DUIs and speeding are huge public safety concerns. So for those reasons, the state is asking for that $2,500 good bond on the DUI and the $1,000 good bond on the speeding.
All right, thank you, Ms. Thomas. Ms. Thomas?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. We are denying the allegations for the DUI, less safe, Your Honor, and in fact, under Georgia law, there is a presumption that anyone blowing under a 0.05 is presumed to not be impaired, Your Honor. So we are denying those allegations. And I think it's important to note that this was at 4:30 a.m. Mr. Aguru is 53 years of age. He's been a Georgia resident since 2004. He resides in Cumming, Georgia. He's married. He's a proud father of two boys, a 25-year-old and a 16-year-old. Mr. Aguru also is gainfully employed at a manufacturing firm where he's been working for the past 14 months. He also obtained his master's degree in business management. And as we heard, Your Honor, this is his first offense in life, Your Honor. So we are asking for a signature bond. Mr. Aguru has no history of DUIs. And again, Mr. Aguru is presumed innocent and does have that presumption that he was not impaired by law, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, Mr. Guru is going to receive a $2,500 surety bond. That will be $2,000 for count 1, $500 for count 2. He is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition, and he's not to drive unless he has a valid license issued by the Georgia Department of Transportation. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense at this time?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, hearing none. Best of luck to you, Mr. Aguru. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position 2.
All right, good afternoon. Your case is 22 CR 005935C, in which you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of September the 2nd. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
9 total. Last arrest was August 2021, battery DV. What? This is 9th arrest. Last arrest was August 2021, battery DV. February 2021, shoplifting. 2020, criminal damage to property, 2nd degree, shoplifting. 2014, marijuana possession. He got quite a few of those. But he got the open case in Superior Court, 20 CP 191117. That's the criminal damage to property and shoplifting.
Okay, and the battery DV is not an open case in 2021.
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I'm sure the state knows though.
Okay, I'm sure. All right, thank you. Whose case is this for the state? Is it you, Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge.
All right, please proceed.
Yes, Judge. The state is going to ask for a $1,000 good bond in this case with conditions to stay away from the three-way grocery store at 1695 Pryor Road in Atlanta, Georgia. This defendant was given a formal criminal trespass warning on July 11th, 22. He was aware that he had this, and he had not returned until this day when he was standing out front, and the grocery store had to contact officers about it. I am double checking the battery family violence case. If you'll give me one moment.
All right.
So it looks like that case has not, it is closed. It was case 21 CR 003992C that resolved in March of this year, and it was null prost. However, based on the fact that this, these facts show a disrespect for the law, a disrespect, for the orders of the court when given this criminal trespass, I do believe there is a risk of reoffense. I don't believe a signature bond is appropriate in this case, and for those reasons, we're asking for that $1,000 good one.
Thank you. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we will be asking for a signature bond, given the nonviolent nature of this offense. Mr. Bates understands that he's not to return back to the three-way grocery location, Your Honor. I did explain that to him and he understood. Mr. Bates is 28 years of age. He has been a Georgia resident all of his life. His family resides here as well. Mr. Bates obtained a 7th grade education. He's unfortunately unemployed, but he does receive SSI, so his finances would not allow him to pay a high bond amount, Your Honor. Certainly not a $1,000 good bond, Your Honor. So I am asking if Mr. Bates is not eligible for a signature bond, that he receives a bond no more than $500 at this time. Mr. Bates also is the primary caregiver of his elderly parents. He strongly expressed that he does need to get back so that he can continue care for his mom and father, Your Honor. He wants the court to consider that as well.
All right, thank you. At this time, defendant will receive a $500 surety bond, and he is to stay away from the incident location on Pryor Road. Is there anything further from either party?
Excuse me.
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bates, the best thing for you to do is to speak to your attorney if you have a question. All right?
So I have to speak to my attorney.
Yes, that's the best thing for you to do. I don't want you to incriminate yourself. I want you to take advantage of your rights to remain silent, okay?
Saying so I can't get a signature bond?
My ruling will stand, all right?
Cause I
All
really
right.
gotta get to the house and see about my parents. My
I
dad is
understand.
75 years old.
All right. Please speak with Ms. Thomas. She'll explain to you, all right? All right, who do we have next?
Position 5, Nelson.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Nelson. Your case is 22 CR 0059337J. I will not sound the charge with the offense date of September the 2nd. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Howard?
33 total between Florida and Georgia. Last arrest was March 2021, trespass. Another March 2021, disorderly conduct. 2018 FTA for trespass. 2017 trespass. 2012 disorderly conduct dismissed. All his violence is like old. He had an 09 simple assault dismissed.
Anything similar to the charge here today?
Not in the last 10, 20 years, no.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, the state would be requesting a $3,500 good bond, to have no drugs or alcohol while out on bond, and to have no further contact with Miss Amanda Davis. Without going too far into the facts, I will say that Miss Davis is a stranger to this defendant. She's here for Dragon Con. We have had contact with this victim. She stated she's been coming to Dragon Con for years and years and has never felt, afraid. But after this incident, she is afraid to come out without her husband. This is a large public safety concern. We want people to feel comfortable coming to our city to visit and enjoy these things that Atlanta offers. You did hear he has 23 total arrests, while most of them are disorderly conducts and criminal trespasses. I noted a failure to appear as recent as 2018. So based on his extensive history, the severity of the facts alleged, we are asking for that $3,500 good bond with the conditions: no further contact with Miss Amanda Davis, common spellings. And I do believe this was an alcohol-related offense. She did indicate he was drinking vodka, reeked. So we would also, you typically impose, but we're definitely asking for no drugs or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Nelson is 63 years of age. He's been residing in Georgia for the past 63 years, as he expressed. He does have family members residing here. However, Mr. Nelson expressed to me that he is currently homeless. I believe the criminal trespasses and the FTA in his background is attributed to his residential situation, Your Honor. Mr. Nelson did also express to me that he doesn't have any family or friends that's currently helping him out financially. So any bond amount essentially is no bond for Mr. Nelson. So I am asking that he be released, if not on the signature bond, then a bond amount no more than $500, Your Honor. Obviously, Mr. Nelson does not know Miss Amanda Davis, so we are not opposed to no contact order or to a stay away order.
All right, thank you. At this time, Mr. Nelson's gonna receive a $2,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the alleged victim and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. And he will be reset to the SAP calendar on the 15th, whereby this case can be revisited.
The
Is there
15th,
anything-
17th.
It's the 15th of September.
Oh, 15th, okay.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Nelson. Who do we have next?
Position
I
6.
believe the remaining positions may be Miss Jinx.
Miss Banks. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I could do the conflict position perhaps. Is the position that needed the conflict attorney, the conflict person?
She was
is
in
that-
courtroom 3.
She was in 3,
with,
wasn't she?
Miss Guffey,
Okay.
yes.
All right. All right, we'll be on a brief hold until Miss Jenks returns. All right. Oh, can you see me or hear? No one can hear me.
Oh, we can hear
I can hear you, Your Honor.
Okay, there we are. There we are. All right, we're back with, what position was this?
Mr. Rosario,
Yes, can we go ahead and take that position? All right.
he's position 7, Judge.
Yes, Madam Interpreter, will you please state your name for the record?
Oh, yes, ma'am. My name is Adriana, Adriana. Last name Chancey, Chancey.
All right, Ms. Chansley, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the translation you will make today from English to Spanish, Spanish to English will be done to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability, and as accurately as possible?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Howard, can I have his history, please?
Señor Howard, por favor.
Rosario, first arrest.
Primer arresto, Rosario.
All right, thank you. Ms. King, is this your case?
It is, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
All right, I can barely see you, Ms. King, but I trust that you're there. It's a little, yes. All right. Ms. King, if you give us the state's recommendation.
I turned on the light to see if that's better, Your Honor.
That's much better. Yes,
The
yes.
state is
All right.
requesting yes, the state is requesting a 4,000 surety in this case. That's 3,000 for the battery and 1,000 for the obstruction. No further contact with the victim, Mr. James Cox, and a stay away from the Believe Music Hall located at 181 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. This offense occurred on.
Wait, Ms. King, let's let interpretation catch
Oh,
up.
thank you. Thank you both. Bueno, ¿cuál es la recomendación de parte de la Fiscalía, señorita King? Se pide una fianza de garantía de $4,000, $3,000 por el cargo de golpes y lesiones y $1,000 por obstrucción voluntaria a la autoridad, que no tenga más contacto con el señor Cox y que se mantenga alejado de la dirección 181 Ralph David Boulevard.
All right. Before I go back, I realized I did not tell him his rights. Mr. Kenny Rosario, I'm Judge Melanie Williams.
Señor Kenny Rodríguez Rosarios, yo soy la jueza Melanie Williams.
Your case is 22 CR 00594G.
Su número de caso es 22 CR 005-940G.
And in this case, you're charged with 1 count of battery and 1 count of willful obstruction.
Usted tiene un cargo de golpes y lesiones y un cargo de obstrucción voluntaria a la autoridad.
Each with the offense date of June 26th of 2020.
Y la fecha del incidente es junio 26 del 2022.
You have an absolute right to remain silent.
Usted tiene el derecho a guardar silencio.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Todo lo que diga puede y será usado en su contra.
And you have a right to an attorney, and Ms. Jenks is available to represent you.
Usted tiene derecho a tener un abogado y la señora Jenkins es su abogada para que lo representa.
This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet.
Este proceso está siendo publicado en la internet.
It's also being recorded.
Y también está grabado.
That means any member of the public can watch it. Do you understand these rights?
O sea que entiende que cualquier miembro del público puede observarlo. ¿Usted entiende estos derechos?
Sí.
I do.
All right, Ms. King, please continue.
My apologies, Your Honor. On June 25th of this year, Officer Woods and Officer Raymondville Watson actually observed the defendant, Kenny Rosario, batter James Cox, who is a security guard at the Believe Music Hall.
El día 25 de junio del 2022, el oficial Wolf y el oficial Watson observaron al acusado golpear al señor Jim Cox en el lugar llamado Music Hall.
The officers observed the defendant have the victim in a very tight headlock, Your Honor, and we even looked at the possibility of transferring this as an aggravated assault strangulation, but we have not been in contact with the victim yet.
Los oficiales observaron que este acusado tenía al señor Cox aferrado de manera muy ajustada por la cabeza y lo que da una posibilidad, crea una posibilidad de que este cargo se cambie a uno mayor, pero todavía no hemos podido hablar con la víctima.
The officers used their own hands to try to pry the arms of the defendant off of the victim in this case.
El acusado con sus manos trató de privarle movimiento en los brazos al oficial de seguridad, impidiendo su movimiento.
The officers also gave multiple loud verbal commands asking him to stop choking the victim in this case.
También los oficiales emitieron órdenes a gritos para que el acusado se detuviera en este caso y no continuara más.
The defendant only removed his arms when the officers tased him in a desperate effort to save Mr. Cox's life.
Este acusado soltó un brazo solamente cuando los oficiales usaron el taser en su intención desesperada para hacer que él soltara al señor Cox.
The officers observed several cuts and bruises to the forehead of Mr. Cox, but he ultimately refused medical treatment.
Los oficiales observaron serios cortes y moretones en la frente del señor Cox, quien rechazó recibir tratamiento médico.
The state is requesting such a high bond for a first-time offender due to the extreme violent nature of this offense. Also, we have to keep in mind that if the officers did not respond in the time that they did, it's hard to know what would have happened to Mr. Cox, which gravely concerns the state.
La fiscalía pide una fianza tan alta debido a la violencia cometida en este caso y porque de no haber ocurrido la presencia de los oficiales de policía, la fiscalía no sabe hasta dónde hubiese llegado la seriedad y violencia de este acontecimiento. Por eso la fiscalía tiene preocupación de lo que pueda pasar con este acusado.
And for that reason, the state feels the 4,000 surety is more than reasonable with the conditions already stated. Nothing further.
Por eso, una fianza de $4,000 es considerada razonable por la fiscalía. Eso es todo.
All right, thank you, Ms. Shanks.
Thank you, Judge. What's fascinating to me, Judge, is the disconnect between the recitation and characterization that the state makes of this incident and what's actually on the arrest affidavit, which shows that the alleged victim was not interested in any medical treatment. And actually, Mr. Rosario, and I don't know why this didn't happen, wasn't arrested on site. This is something that happened several months ago, Judge. With that being said, Mr. Rosario has no priors. He has been living.
Ms. James, one second, please.
Catch up. Go ahead.
Sure, thank you. Sí, en realidad no me sorprende la caracterización y descripción de la representante de la Fiscalía acerca de este incidente, debido a que, número uno, este acusado no recibió, la víctima rechazó todo tratamiento médico el día del accidente y además este acusado no fue arrestado en el momento del incidente. Thank you, Ms. Jenks. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. With that being said, Judge, Mr. Rosario is a 27-year-old man. He is originally from Puerto Rico. However, Judge, he's been living here in Georgia since 2018. He is a resident of Dalton, Georgia, at the listed address that's on his booking screen, Judge. His brother has been here 6 years and was the one that encouraged him to come here from Puerto Rico. Mr. Rosario, so he does have ties to the community. Mr. Rosario also lives with his partner. They've been together for 2 years at that listed location. He does have.
Please.
Yep.
Thank you. Su señoría, el señor, mi cliente tiene 27 años de edad, él es de Puerto Rico, pero ha estado en el estado de Georgia desde el 2018. Él ha vivido en Dalton, Georgia, donde también vive su hermano, y ha vivido su hermano aquí por 6 años y fue quien realmente lo trajo aquí. Él tiene ataduras a la comunidad y ha vivido con su compañera durante 2 años. Go ahead, ma'am.
He is a high school graduate, Judge. He has been working various jobs, mostly surrounding warehouse work, Judge, at Lehman's Company was his last job. He had actually just started another job on Monday, but then was arrested on Tuesday. So for those reasons, Your Honor, and the fact that pretrial will accept him, we are requesting that he receive a unsecured judicial release bond. At this time, we feel he's not a flight risk. He's got significant ties to the community. He is working here. He's got family here. His partner is here. And he has no problem staying away from the incident location, Judge. In fact, he's not been there since then. I actually specifically asked him that. And so that shouldn't be a problem.
One moment, please. Su señoría, mi cliente ha terminado la escuela secundaria y ha también participado en varios diferentes empleos, por ejemplo, con la compañía Limas, todos empleos relacionados con depósitos y plantas. Él empezó un nuevo empleo el lunes, pero fue arrestado el martes y tiene razones para pedir una fianza bajo firma. Él no es un riesgo de huida y él también trabaja, él tiene su compañera, tiene su familia aquí y no tiene ningún problema con mantenerse alejado del lugar del incidente. Y también él me ha aclarado que no ha regresado hasta ahora a ese lugar.
All right. I'm sorry, may I have the incident location again?
It is the Believe Music Hall located at 181 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard.
All right, thank you. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial. That'll be $500, count 1, 1,000, count 2. He's to take a 1-day anger awareness course, and he is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no contact with the alleged victim, last name Cox.
Can you tell me the bond amount, Judge? I think I misheard the first one.
Yes, please, Your Honor.
$6,000 signature through pretrial services.
And 5,000 on the battery and 1,000 on the obstruction?
Yes.
Thank you.
Le otorgo una fianza bajo firma de $6,000. Serían $5,000 por golpes y lesiones y $1,000 por obstrucción voluntaria a la autoridad. Él debe tomar un curso de manejo de la ira y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas y no puede acercarse al señor Cox.
Excuse me, is there anything further from either the state or the defense as it pertains to this case?
Nothing
No,
further,
Judge. Thank you.
No,
Hey, he let him know he gonna have to report via Zoom for orientation.
Por favor, señor, usted va a tener que presentarse para el curso de orientación con los servicios previos al juicio a través de una plataforma de Zoom. ¿Entiende? Do you understand?
Sí, lo que quieres decirme como una probatoria es lo que quieres decir.
¿Perdón?
Lo que quieres decir como una probatoria.
Do you mean this is going to be like a type of probation?
No, he'll be monitored while he's out on
It's a condition of his signature bond that we talked about that he's going to have to continue to report to pretrial. It sounds like probation, but it's not, but he has to report to pretrial as a condition and also do the anger management class.
Es como una probatoria, pero no lo es. Como hablamos, a través de los servicios previos al juicio, usted va a tener que ir presentándose ante ellos, lo van a estar monitoreando, que cumpla con los cursos y todas las condiciones que le han impuesto la jueza.
Está bien, entiendo. No hay problema con eso.
I do understand, and no problem with that.
And it'll be an interpreter on that.
Y por favor, traiga a alguien que le ayude a hablar inglés.
Mi pareja habla inglés, pero no me sé el número de ella como tal. Ahora mismo ver lo que digo no puedo hacer mucho.
My partner speaks English, but I have no way to contact her.
All right, well, please speak with your attorney regarding this.
Por favor, hable con su abogada acerca de eso.
Well, does pretrial go into a breakout room with him, Judge? So with an interpreter so he can understand what's going on, or are the materials in Spanish as well? So he can read it and understand it?
Mr. Howard, can you answer that question briefly?
What's the question?
Will he be able to, the materials he gets, will they be in Spanish?
It'll be in English. That's why I'm telling him he will have an interpreter.
There'll be an interpreter present at the actual, I guess, orientation.
Is his number on his booking screen? On his booking?
Señor, usted tiene que tener un intérprete cuando usted tenga esa sesión de orientación. No están hablando de ahora, no están hablando de ahora. En ese momento tenga a un intérprete, por favor.
Puedo eso. Mi pareja es una mujer blanca, lo que pasa es que todavía yo no sé hablar inglés tanto. Ella puede hablar perfectamente.
All right, my partner can speak English perfectly.
All right. All right, I believe that concludes all outstanding matters as it pertains to this case. Best of luck to you, Mr. Rosario.
Okay,
Judge,
creo que esto cierra el caso. Mucha suerte, señor.
Was it a stay away, Judge, on that?
Yes, stay away from the incident location.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Madam Interpreter, does that conclude your business before the court today?
I believe so, Your Honor, but I would appreciate if you can confirm it for the interpreter.
Does anyone else need the assistance of a Spanish interpreter?
¿Hay alguien más que necesite el intérprete?
No. No, no, Judge.
All right, hearing none, you are excused. Thank you so much for appearing today.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, bye-bye. All right, who do we have next?
I have Ms. Johnson in courtroom number 3.
Ms. Johnson is the add-ons?
That's a conflict, Judge.
Yes,
We're not
Judge.
representing.
So I just sent a chat to Ms. Thomas. So the state in this case would be willing to consent to a signature bond if she fills out our diversion referral form. As you know, that's not official acceptance into the diversion program, but if we can ensure that we have all her information to contact her about diversion, we'd be willing to consent to a signature bond today. I know that's a little
before
tricky.
we do that.
Right.
Before we do that, there's no conflict attorneys present. And is she actually on an add-on calendar? Is there an add-on calendar and an accusation number?
No, ma'am, there isn't as of yet.
Right. Odyssey
So
is
we
moving
can't really do that.
Odyssey is moving very, very slowly today. I'm currently frozen trying to file an accusation for Sounders. I can only move as fast as Odyssey's allowed to make.
We
Each of the
can't do the
accusations this morning, took
We
about
can't
10
do
minutes.
Johnson yet, because I understand your position, but we can't do it until there's an add-on and an accusation number. So can we go to another position? What about Reed? Can we do that position 6?
Yes, position 6, courtroom 2.
All right, good afternoon. Your case number is 22 CR 005939J, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of June the 21st of 2022. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
He has 7 total. Last arrest was 2014, marijuana possession. It was dismissed after diversion. Hold on. Before that was 1994, ag assault, firearm possession. Stuff old.
All right. Okay, I've just been informed by the state about a 2015 arrest. All right. Ms. King?
Sorry, Judge, is that a 20, you said you were just informed by the state of a 2015 arrest?
Yes, Ms. King, if you chatted to Ms.
Is that-
Jenks as well.
And so pretrial doesn't have that on the GCIC? Is that what my understanding is?
I don't know what cycle it is.
Can you, Ms. King, will you chat it to Mr. Howard as well so he can confirm?
Okay, can I get a case number for that?
In any event, this offense occurred on June 21st of this year. Officers were dispatched to 3715 Adamsville Drive Southwest. He was called because the victim in this case stated that her ex-husband had beaten on her. She stated that he had come to her house and saying he had a surprise for her and lured her into his vehicle. And while they were traveling, he grabbed her and bit her on the face, causing 2 open lacerations, which the officers did observe. He also took her iPhone from her. We have not charged the iPhone as of now because we have not confirmed if she's gotten it back. We have not been in contact with this victim, but the state will move forward with charges on that once we speak with our victim. After getting out of the car, after getting bit in her face, she walked to 4005 Princeton Place, where she was able to get to a phone and call 911. The state is requesting a $4,000 surety in this case due to the defendant having access still to the victim, even though they're divorced, and being very violent with her, as you can see, and also the charge I saw in the GCIC, which is very violent as well, deeply concerns us. We're asking for no further contact with Miss Leslie Reed, Leslie, last name same as the defendant, a stay away from the 3715 Adamsville Drive Southwest. That is the victim's residence, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Hold on.
Judge,
question.
I'm requesting a breakout room with Your Honor, sidebar, not televised, with Ms. King and maybe pretrial as to this this alleged incident from 2015 in the chat.
Okay, we can go into a brief breakout.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Jenks, please proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Reed is 58 years old, Your Honor. He is born and raised here in Atlanta. He actually worked with the city of Atlanta for 28 years, Your Honor, as a supervisor for the Parks and Recreation Department. He retired about 2 years ago. He does live with his parents, his mom and dad, actually, at that location that's listed on the jail screen, Your Honor. My understanding is that he has been recommended for a signature bond through pretrial. We are asking you to allow that to happen. He does have several kids, but they're all older. They're older than 18. There's one child that he still is very involved with, who's a special needs child who is 33 but has some special needs. We have no problem with any kinds of stay away order, no further contact order, though I understand that the state has had no victim contact. But for those reasons, Judge, we are asking Your Honor to allow signature bonds for Mr. Reed.
All right. Is there anything further from the state before I proceed? I know we took a break. I want to make sure everything is flowing seamlessly.
Yes, just that the state would object to any signature bond in this case due to the violent nature of the offense and his criminal history.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time, the defendant received a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He's to complete the one-day anger awareness course, and he is to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case whatsoever, not via social media or phone or even through a third party. I don't believe I heard that they were transferring any children, and he must also stay away from that incident location. And he is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of that signature bond.
You
Is
said
there
anger
anything
awareness?
further? Yes,
No,
I
thank you,
did.
Judge.
All right. Is there anything further from either party?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. We can move to the next position.
Position 8.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Ross. Your case number 22 CR 005941D, in which you're charged with 1 count of reckless conduct and 1 count of discharge of a firearm on a public highway or a street with the offense date of September the 2nd. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Mr. Howard, please.
18 total. Last arrest was December 2021, trespass. Another December 2021 arrest on Marta, simple battery in a public transit vehicle or station. May 2021, trespass, simple assault. Got a trespass conviction from 2020. 2018, he was charged with aggravated assault. It was reduced to reckless conduct. It was 2 other reckless conducts with that arrest. Those were convictions. The possession of a knife or a firearm was dismissed. 2017
All right.
probation.
All right, I think that's sufficient. Go ahead. Whose case is this for the state? I'm sorry, my Zoom scrambled.
It is
you,
me,
Ms.
Your Honor. ASG
All
King.
right, yes, Ms. King, please proceed.
Yes, the state is requesting a 10,000 surety in this case. That's 5,000 on each charge. A stay away from the incident location 2149 Rhine Hill Road, Southeast, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. The defendant's criminal history is deeply concerning to the state. He has 18 cycles in 9 years, Your Honor. Furthermore, he has 2 reckless conduct convictions from 2019 that did involve firearms. In those cases, he did point a firearm in 2 people's faces. That case actually handled here in Fulton County. On the date of question, which was yesterday, officers responded to a shots fired call at the incident location at around 1 a.m. When they got there, they talked to multiple witnesses in the area. One, Mr. Michael Smith, who said that the defendant returned home and was shooting his rifle outside of his residence. He was upset about something. And he even dared the witnesses to call the police. Who the F gonna call the police? And who the F called the police? And they picked up all my mother effing shells. He also says, I'm going to F up my roommates if they keep calling the police. I got something for their ass. Your Honor, I attempted to get this transferred as a felony terroristic threats, but we do not have enough information at this time, but the state is still leaving that open as a possibility once we get more information. The officers were able to locate 6 shells near the home that did match to the gun that they got from the defendant's hands when they arrived. As I said, Your Honor, this defendant is very violent. He also has multiple probation revocations, one for every year, 2015, 2016, and 2017, which shows the defendant does not follow the law. He does not follow the court's orders. And even after that probation revocation, he involved the reckless conduct with the firearms, Your Honor. That probation recently ended, which did have a no weapons provision on the probation. So he would have violated that probation as well, had it been just a few more months, Your Honor. For that reason, the state feels that this 10,000 surety is more than reasonable under the circumstances, and the state would object to any signature bond of any kind due to him also violating the 3 bonds for the 3 open cases he has, 2 out of DeKalb and 1 from MARTA. Nothing further.
All right, thank you, Ms. King. Ms. Shanks?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Ross is 26 years old, Judge. He is born and raised in Atlanta. He's been here all of his life. He has graduated, well, he got his GED from high school, Your Honor, and has been working both at a company called Pratt and doing warehouse work, and then also Diversified Sourcing Solutions as a custodian. So he's been handling 2 jobs. Part of the reason he handles 2 jobs, Judge, is to help support his 4-year-old daughter who lives with her biological mother. He was living in a rooming house. I asked him about having to return there, although his items, I believe his personal items are still there. He is able to live with his grandmother, and he gave me that address, Judge. We're asking you to allow a $1,500 good bond on each charge for a total of $3,000.
All right, thank you, Ms. Shanks. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $7,500 surety bond. That'll be $15,000 on the reckless conduct, count 1, and $6,000 on the firearms charge. He is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and he must stay away from that location. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items that might still be at the incident location. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you. That concludes the calendar as printed. However, I do understand that there are add-ons. Have we been able to create an add-on calendar?
So there's still issues with Odyssey. I just sent to Mr. Jordan, and maybe I should have sent it to Miss Grace, like a Word doc of the accusation. I'm unable to file it in Odyssey. Is there a way that they could file it if I send?
Mr. Jordan is working on it, Judge, because I am, handling court, so.
And Judge, I'm having no problem with Odyssey. I don't think I have the permission to do what the state's asking, nor would I really want to take part of it.
I don't think,
But
yeah, I don't think.
I think it may be an internet issue because obviously I'm
So
working from home.
let me explain. It's not, it's with attaching the document. So I'm able to pull up booking screens. I'm able to do pretty much anything that, judge or a public defender would do. But when it comes to attaching the accusation, it just freezes. And it's been doing
I'm the only one having this issue as well, Your Honor.
And Mr. Jordan said he is as well, Judge.
I'm currently trying to file an accusation on Mrs. Johnson myself.
Okay, and it's just not working?
Just frozen.
We had this all morning, Your Honor. Unfortunately, it's been tough.
Okay.
Judge, let me see if I can do this Jameson Saunders case, and then I'll see if I can case.
All right, let's give it a few minutes, but if not, I don't think we'll be able to handle it today. It has to actually be accused in Odyssey in order for us to do it, is my understanding.
I mean, and Judge, just so you know, our perspective is, Mr. Saunders has already been in.
I do understand it, but if it's not
on a very old warrant here, I have spoken to him, and we were aware of all of these people actually way earlier this morning. So maybe, this issue.
We understand it, but the problem is if there's not on the calendar. Mr. Jordan, you're gonna weigh in? And again, I'm open to all dynamic solutions. I just know that if it's not, there's no accusation number, no calendar, even if we hold it, I don't think that they'll be able to get out. So let's let Mr. Jordan try. and, and see, I'm
Yes.
assuming that the case of Mrs. Souders is not gonna be a consent bond. If it were a consent bond, perhaps, then,
Right, Judge. So no, we would be asking for a surety bond on Mr. Souders.
yeah,
As far as Ms. Johnson goes, we would be.
right, I know you
looking
said
at
you do
them.
the signature there, but she's not that's again another issue. There's no one to consent to the consent bonds. So I don't think we can do that either. So if the state perhaps can work out something with the defense whereby you come up with a consent bond, we could still handle Mr. Souders' case, even if we don't get an accusation in today. So that would handle that one. And then perhaps we could work on something for Ms. Johnson.
Your Honor, if Ms. Johnson, if she wanted to be pro se, would she be able to consent to her own signature bond?
She could, but we still have to have her accusation put into the system in order for.
Judge, sorry to interrupt you, but can they just email me the accusation? So I have a case number for Souders.
I just
need to-
sent one for Johnson as well.
Okay, thanks. So the case number for Souders is going to be 22CR005942. I'm just checking for companion cases. Looks like he has a case from 2021, so I'm just checking to see if he's on probation on that case or not. Oh, so actually, Judge, it'll be D. He has a bench warrant case with Judge Edwards as well. So it'll be 22CR005942D. So he has a bench warrant case, 19CR003161D. That'll be placed on the SAV calendar as well. Companion.
Okay. What is the charge in this case?
It's battery family violence. The incident date is 04/25/2022.
All right.
And I'll work on the other case later.
Yes,
Okay.
Judge. Are you ready for the
Hold on.
state's recommendation?
No, not yet. All right, Miss, and his name again? This is wild. What is the defendant's name?
It's
Jameson
Jameson
Souders.
Souders, JAMISONSOUDERS.
Okay, Mrs. Souders, your case number is 22CR005942D, in which you're charged with battery family violence with the offense date of April the 25th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, do you have a history?
19 total. Last arrest was back in March. Possession of marijuana with intent, possession of cocaine, possession of a firearm or knife during the commission. That's 22 CP 207234. April 2021 FTA for disorderly conduct. 2019 FTA suspended license. 2018 disorderly conduct arrest. 2016 battery DV dismissed. 2014 battery. I don't have a disposition for that one. State might know. He had another battery that was dismissed from 2010. That's it.
All right, thank you. I'm ready now, Ms. Tucker. Please proceed.
Yes, Judge. The state is going to be asking for a $10,000 good bond in this case with conditions, no further contact with the victim is Brianna Ladson. That's BRIONNA LADSON. and to stay away from, never mind, this, I believe this occurred at his place, but to have absolutely no contact with the victim. Miss Latson is the mother of their infant child. He was 4 months old when this occurred in April, so he's still under a year. She went over to the location to meet the defendant to get some milk for the baby when a verbal argument ensued and the defendant struck her in the face. There was an independent witness who witnessed him punch her in the face. Additionally, you did hear he's got 19 cycles, 3 prior battery family violence cases. They were all null prossed, but just because the state couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt doesn't mean there wasn't probable cause for the charges. It's I have those case numbers if you're interested, but and you also heard that he is in bench warrant status, and this all occurred while he's out on bond for other open cases. So based on the violence in his history, the facts alleged in this case, as well as, you know, his flight risk, considering he's in bench warrant status for another open case, we're asking for that $10,000 good bond.
All right, thank you. Ms. Jenks?
Judge, Mr. Souders is 31 years old. He did complete school up through the 11th grade, and he's been working on getting his GED from the Atlanta Metro Community College. He is born and raised here in Atlanta, has been here his entire life. This did allegedly happen at his aunt's home. And you know, he disputes the facts as alleged in the arrest affidavit, Judge. In terms of the bench warrant case, I am looking at an Odyssey under that case number that Michael Jordan provided. And it was a return of service. It looks like he did not get good notice. So again, we dispute the characterization that he's thumbing his nose at the criminal justice system and not showing up just because he didn't want to. He actually didn't get the notice according to Odyssey. With that being said, Judge, we're asking you to allow a $1,500 good bond in this case.
All right, thank you. At this time, defendant will receive a $5,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the victim, last name Latson, and he is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of that surety bond. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
No, Judge, thanks.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. All right, as to Ms. Johnson's case, do we have a number yet?
That case is 22 CR 0059438. A is in Apple.
And what's the offense?
I just text it to you, message it to you, Judge.
Okay. You
The
did.
number again?
22 CR 0059438.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jordan. All right, Ms. Johnson, your case number is 22 CR 0059438, in which you're charged with an offense I will not sound, with the offense date of September 2nd of 2022. Do you understand your rights here today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have the history, please?
It's an 8th arrest. Last was May 2021. Battery DV out of the cab. 2017 shoplifting first offender. She had obstruction conviction, false report of a crime from 2017. She has a 2015 arrest for what she's arrested for now. That was a conviction. And a 2014 arrest, same thing.
Okay.
No disposition. And one arrest out of Florida for drugs.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, you have a right to an attorney today, but the public defender's office is conflicted out of assisting you today. So what will happen is I'm going to listen very closely to the history Mr. Howard just gave me and any facts given me by the state. If I do not feel comfortable to give you a signature bond today, I will reset you to the next calendar, whereby hopefully a conflict attorney will be available to assist you, all right? So either you will get a signature bond and be able to sign your own bond or ask to discharge today, or you'll be reset to another calendar whereby you'll be heard on bond again, okay? You understand that, Ms. Johnson?
Is there possible that I can get a signature bond? Because
No,
I'm
no,
not-
don't say, I don't say anything. I don't want you to talk to me about it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to see if I can decide if I'm gonna give you one. If I do not give you one, I'll reset you to a calendar on Monday in the hopes that an attorney will be present to assist you, okay? I don't want you to say anything because anything you say can and will be used against you. Okay, Ms. Tucker, please proceed.
Yes, Judge. You are aware of the charge that is alleged. I'll just give some background information. This defendant was on the scene of a shooting. This occurred at a hotel. She was not shot, nor the one with the gun. However, that is how she became questioned by police. She was given her Miranda rights as they asked her what she was doing there, how she knew these men. That is what gave rise to the charge as alleged. The state would be willing to consent today to a $2,000 signature bond if the defendant is willing to agree to our diversion program. I have a diversion referral form. As she's pro se, if you don't mind me just giving her a little bit of information, diversion in other jurisdictions, some people call it pretrial intervention. Essentially, in exchange for completing some sort of terms here, likely we'd have some sort of counseling or an assessment done by a professional, not by someone in my office. If you successfully complete specific terms, then your case could get dismissed down the road. You would have to agree to that and voluntarily do all of the terms that we recommend. But ultimately, in exchange for at least signing our referral form, which is not official acceptance into our program, but gives us all the contact information that we need to get you potentially enrolled in our program. If you agree to that today, the state would be willing to consent to a $2,000 signature bond.
Basically, what they're saying is you would just have to give your contact information to the state. Ms. Johnson, are you willing to do so at this juncture?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, at this time, I will accept the state's recommendation and grant her a $2,000 signature bond. Ms. Johnson is required to provide her information as specified by Ms. Tucker. She is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of this signature bond through pretrial services. Is there anything further?
Oh,
All
this
right.
per judge then.
Yeah, per judge. All right. Does that conclude our entire calendar today?
Judge, I got Freshly and Towns in courtroom 2.
Who also don't appear on this calendar.
Yes, Your Honor. Towns was a felony transfer. It's a battery family violence recidivist. It was my understanding that it received a CP number. Let me see. It was accepted very early this morning by the DA's office.
So he should he have gone to felony first appearance and not been here today?
So I only see it having a DA number, 22 DA 09344. So I don't know if they're having an issue with Odyssey as well. I'm not sure.
I did the transfer this morning, Your Honor, and spoke to Deputy DA John Turner myself.
Okay.
And it does have a DA number at this point.
Okay, so I don't believe he should appear on this calendar at this point. Then he'll need to go to felony first appearance.
What is his name, Judge?
Mr. Towns, I believe is what the information we have. Is that correct? Has anyone spoken to Mr. Freshly?
I spoke to Mr. Freshly, but I was informed by Miss Allen. I believe it was Miss Allen that just told me earlier that I guess his case was a felony case or a transfer case.
So both of these cases are transferred and should not be on this calendar today. Is that correct?
Mr. Freshly was never on our calendar. The state was called by someone at the jail with a question about him. When we looked into it, the documentation appears to show that he has been placed on first appearance as a felony and his case is being treated as a felony. Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Freshly doesn't appear on this calendar either.
I don't think he's on felony count.
Well,
Can
this
someone
morning
check?
I was informed by the jail staff that he was on a felony calendar, but he had misdemeanor charges. And then I inquired as to whether or not his case was being treated as a felony case, and I was told no.
He
So,
was
and
on
that
their
he's
pool
supposed to
sheet,
be
but
on
he's
this
not on their
calendar.
calendar.
Oh, okay.
He was on there in error.
Right, so that's what the email said, Judge. He was on the felony pull sheet, but they were saying he was placed on the felony pull sheet in error. That's why they was trying to have him added to this count. So
Will we
he,
handle his case today?
say again.
Are we able to handle his case today so that he's not being pumped
That is
around
up to-
over the holiday weekend?
Excuse
I
me,
guess
there
the-
is going to be an SEA calendar on Monday despite the holiday.
For Mr. Freshley, I believe his case would be a Riverside issue.
Riverside.
Mr. Freshley was
It would not be a
in
Riverside
police
issue.
custody since the first. Was he not
The,
booked in on
the
the first?
question, we've got to remember Riverside issues attached if there's unless there's an explanation for the delay. So I guess the question is, are we able to handle it today? Does he have misdemeanor charges that I could look into? I guess that's the question.
I guess at this point, given, if Your Honor, excuse me, I would request respectfully that we connect with someone at the jail to verify what their understanding is. I literally spoke with someone at 1 o'clock and 1:30 today and was told he will be on a felony calendar. I think given the issues we've had with Odyssey, it warrants maybe taking a moment. I do not see this gentleman as a Riverside issue. On a side note, I reviewed the information here. My information in Odyssey says he was booked in today here.
Okay, let's take a minute and see if these two will be placed on the felony. Is there someone, Mr. Jordan, are you able to tell if they'll be on the felony calendar today? Or if there's anything we can do?
So
Spoke with Tammy Elkins.
He was not on the felony calendar, Judge. So the people, the clerks from Superior Court generate the calendar, sent the email to say that he was on the wrong pull sheet. They were asking for him to be placed on our account, but he never got placed on our account. So he
I
never
spoke
went.
with Miss Elkins at the jail, who asked us to look into the case.
She's not at the jail.
Works in the clerk's
Okay.
office.
It
Well,
doesn't
I
matter.
spoke
So-
to her and she asked me to look into it. I asked if he was an add-on, what was the issue? Do we need to have him added on today? She responded by saying no and letting our staff know that it was resolved and he was put on a felony calendar. That was at 1 something today. Was that
Yeah,
after your conversation or before?
No, Tammy works in the clerk's office. She's the one that was doing the calendar today. So I'm not sure why she would have told you that, but I'll
So
check.
why don't we reach out to her? Yeah, thank you.
Or is there, if I.
Well, he's the boss.
Say it again.
Michael's
She's-
the boss.
Right,
Okay.
right. Michael's in charge. Michael, is there a way to handle any aspect of this case today while we're all here?
I can check his booking screen, but if he's sitting in courtroom 2, that means he was never on the felony first appearance count.
I
So the
agree.
sheriff deputies-
Right.
He was never on the calendar. He was on the pull sheet, but not the calendar.
Correct. So that's what I was trying to explain to everybody. They asked for him to be placed on the misdemeanor calendar. He was never seen by the judge on the felony calendar. The case just never got accused. So I'm not sure what information Tammy gave you earlier, but it was incorrect information.
Okay.
And I also requested for him to be an add-on too.
Okay, so nobody needs to be worried about who's boss at this point. I literally was just trying to share some information.
Let's all stop.
If he needs to be on the calendar, he can be on the calendar. It's not a
This is going
problem.
really far left. Let's just stop. Can we handle it today? Is there an accusation that can be put in?
There is not an accusation because he wasn't actually on our calendar. And when I specifically asked someone in the clerk's office, I apologize, I didn't know where
Right,
Miss
we
Tammy
understand.
worked.
We
She said he
understand
wasn't
that,
on
Ms.
here.
Allen.
What we
Alright.
just went through with the accusation system, I can try to put an accusation in for this case, but I don't know that it'll go through, and that will require Mr. Jordan to help us again. But we can take a minute and try to do that.
And Your
All right.
Honor, if I may, he was booked in this morning at 3 a.m., so it wouldn't be a Riverside issue if he's heard on Monday. It
Which would
not
be our preference at this point.
Mr. Freshley was arrested September 1st, so he's been in custody somewhere. I believe Mr. Freshley said he was, and it shows on the booking screen he was arrested on the 1st. Now, I don't know about I don't know if it's some type of error on Odyssey, but if he was arrested on the 1st, he had been booked in or sitting somewhere, and he hasn't been before a judge. I interviewed Mr. Freshly. We would like for his case to be resolved today.
Okay.
He came from East Point. He may have gotten there
Okay.
on the 1st.
Oh, it was a bind over case?
Well, no, it's so the booking sheet says arrest date 9/1 at 2:16 a.m., but this was in East Point. So I guess East Point brought him over yesterday, I guess, or early this morning.
Right, which would make it
He
not a
just got here today, though.
Okay.
But he was arrested in East Point. Well, while the state's preference and comfort zone may be for this to be reset to another day, the fact of the matter is he is sitting in Fulton County Jail when this case could be handled.
Give me a second. I understand everyone's position. Absolutely everyone's position, okay? All right, based upon the information before me at this time and discussing with the clerk's office, I am going to ask that the state attempt to accuse these cases and we try to hear them today, if at all possible. So let's try to do
Yeah.
that in the next few minutes, if possible.
Working on it. I'm working on it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you. I apologize. Melissa had a great suggestion. In the meantime, can we review the calendar?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Position number 1 is a $2,500 good bond. Position number 2, $500 good bond. Position number 3, $1,500 good bond. Position number 4, reset further notice, defendant was released. Position number 5, $2,500 good bond. Position 6, $10,000 pretrial bond per judge. Position number 7 is a $6,000 pretrial bond. Position number 8, $7,500 good bond. On add-on so far, position number 1, Johnson, is a $2,000 pretrial bond. And position 2, Saunders, is a $5,000 good bond. Any
That
questions?
pretrial bond is per judge.
Yeah, for position number 6, I said that.
You said no, Melissa. Number 6 is a straight
Oh,
pretrial.
I mean, I'm
bond.
sorry, pretrial, pretrial for position number 1 on the add-on Johnson so far.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Mhm.
Any comments, changes, corrections, or questions? All right, we're holding on the other
Yes.
2 cases.
Yes, Your Honor. What is Mr. I believe is it Mr. Souders? Who's position number 2 with the $5,000 good bond? What is his case number on the add-on calendar?
Oh, if somebody else could give that to Ms.
I
Thomas.
got 22
Yes, I
CR.
have.
Are you gonna do it, Melissa?
Yes, 22 CR 005942, the letter D as in David.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I just sent some accusations to Mr. Jordan for Mr. Freshley.
All right, can we take Mr. Freshley's case then?
I just need about 2 minutes, Judge, to create this case now.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan gets the cookie or Snicker bar of the day. Remind me, Mr. Jordan, I'll have it there on Friday.
What's this case number?
He haven't created it yet, but it's gonna be 22. We just really need the letter. It's gonna be 22 CR 005944, but we need the letter.
Okay.
Listen, brilliant. You are correct.
That's disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, damage to property, DV.
Mr. Howard, do you want to go ahead and give us the history while we wait for the number?
Oh yeah, if you're ready.
Let's go.
Okay. 6 total. Last arrest was December 2021. Criminal damage to property in the second degree. It's 21 PF 007971. On probation, simple battery DV in DeKalb County. October 2021, they gave him 12 months probation for that. Hold on. Criminal damage, that says bond, though, that might be open. Given false name conviction, August 2021. 2018, aggravated assault, strangulation. 2013, aggravated assault, first offender. Let me look up that strangulation real quick.
And I'm sorry, the defendant's name, Ms. Tucker, do you have it?
Yes, it's Xavier, Xavier, Freshly, Freshly.
Okay, Mr. Freshly, we don't have your case number yet, but do you understand your rights here today? Yes, and in this case, you've been charged with criminal trespass, family violence?
Yes, one count of disorderly conduct and one count of criminal trespass, family violence.
Do you understand your rights, Mr. Freshly?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr.
Yeah,
Tucker, please give me. Go ahead, Ms. Howard.
The ag assault strangulation, it was DWAP.
Okay. All right,
Yes.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, the state would be recommending a $7,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Kimberly, Kimberly, Christie, Christie. The facts alleged that this defendant became angry with Miss Christie. They do live together. He began ripping TVs off the wall, punching through different items, ripping around, throwing everything, putting Miss Christie in fear for her life in that moment, as well as causing extensive damage. This case is frightfully similar to an open and pending felony case for criminal damage to property in the second degree from December 12th, 2021, with the same victim, Miss Kimberly Christie, and very similar facts in which he is simply destroying the house in a fit of rage. That case is currently in the pre-filed Superior Court pre-filed case status. I have a 21 PF 007971 number. So I don't believe that case has been indicted yet. However, I do believe he was arrested and booked on that charge as he was released on a $5,000 surety bond. And that was not enough to relay to Mr. Freshly that this behavior is not okay. He did violate that bond by, committing almost the exact same offense. And it is worth noting that, we did attempt, I know you heard it all earlier. I'm not sure what went wrong, but I do believe ultimately we will end up transferring this case to the DA to be heard with that other case. This morning, at least one ADA had communicated to us that they would accept this case as a felony. So I do believe that based on all these facts, and actually in candor with the court, I didn't see that he was given a $5,000 surety bond until I was rambling on to you. If 5,000 wasn't enough in December 2021, then I'm actually going to ask for 10,000, not 7,500. So for those reasons, we'd be asking for that $10,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Kimberly Christie and to stay away from the incident location, which is 3200 Lakeview Place in East Point.
All right, thank you. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would just like to remind the court that Mr. Freshly does maintain his presumption of innocence. He has not been convicted in this case, nor in the case that the state just mentioned. Mr. Freshly does strongly deny these allegations. He's 35 years of age. He has been a Georgia resident most of his life. He does share one child with Miss Kimberly. Excuse me, is it Christine or Christy? We are asking for no further violent contact. They do share one child. They do live together. They are still in a relationship. Mr. Freshly also expressed to me that he is the financial provider in that household. He also is set to start his new job, making $25 an hour. His orientation begins on Tuesday. He desperately wants to be able to attend that orientation or risk not having the funds to provide for his family. Mr. Freshly also obtained his education at a technical college. He is the father of 5 additional children, 2 of which are in college, 2 of which are in high school, and the 1 toddler that he shares with Miss Kimberly. If Mr. Freshly is not eligible for a signature bond, we are asking for a bond amount no more than $1,000. That would be $500 on each charge, given his financial situation and him expressing that due to him being the financial provider for his household, he would not be able to make a high bond amount, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $6,000 surety bond, $3,000 each count. He's to have no further contact with the alleged victim. He can arrange transport of the child through a third party. He must also stay away from the incident location and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He will be reset to the SAP on the 15th, where this case can be revisited.
Your Honor, may he be allowed a one-time escort with law enforcement to get his personal belongings?
Yes, he can have a one-time law enforcement escort. All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Freshly. Are we able to take the next case?
That was it, right? That's all I had.
No, there was another.
No, that's it, Judge.
Yeah, that's it.
So town getting
Felony.
Oh,
Yes.
the other case is actually a felony case, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for working so hard to get this calendar concluded. I really appreciate everyone's hard work. And again, Mr. Jordan does receive the extra mile donut today. Take care, everyone, and have a great one.
Thank you.
All right.
Mike.
Have a
Well,
great rest of your Saturday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay. Bye-bye.